Picture a chilly morning in a small American town. Sarah, a barista at a local coffee shop, notices an elderly customer fumbling with change at the counter. She could rush him along, there's a line forming. But instead she smiles, covers his coffee, and slips an extra cookie into his bag. Later that day, a stranger leaves her a generous tip with a note. "Your kindness brightened my morning." A small moment, but it warmed her heart. This is karma at work, a beautiful principle from Buddhism that says every action, every word, even every thought, plants a seed for what comes next in our lives. Think of it like gardening. Plant seeds of kindness, and you'll harvest joy, connection, maybe even unexpected blessings. It's not about waiting for a reward. It's about trusting that goodness circles back in ways we don't expect. But here's where we often get it wrong. We think only big acts, like donating a fortune or saving the world, count. In truth, it's the quiet, everyday moments that shape our path. Holding the door for a stranger, listening to a coworker, or even picking up litter in your neighborhood. These are the seeds that grow a better life. The lesson? No act of kindness is too small to matter. And to show you just how powerful this can be, let's travel to a misty forest far away, where a young monk's simple choice changed his destiny forever. Deep in an ancient forest, where the air hums with the rustle of leaves and the distant trickle of streams, lived an old monk and his young disciple. The master, wise and gentle, spent his days in deep meditation, sometimes sitting still for hours, his mind piercing the veil of time itself. One morning, as sunlight filtered through the canopy, he emerged from meditation with a heavy heart. In his vision, he saw his beloved disciple, barely 20, with a smile like spring, would die in just 8 days. The old monk's heart ached. This young man, who had followed him with such trust, deserved a chance to see his family one last time. So, he called the disciple to his side. "My dear," he said softly, his voice masking his sorrow, "take 8 days to visit your family. But promise me you'll return by the 8th day." The disciple's face lit up. "Thank you, Master. I've missed them so much." Oblivious to the sadness in his teacher's eyes, he bowed, grabbed his worn cloak, and set off down the mountain, his steps light with joy. As he wound through the forest, the young monk hummed a tune, the scent of pine filling his lungs. Hours later, he paused by a bubbling stream to drink, his throat parched. There, near the water's edge, he noticed a bustling ant colony, thousands of tiny lives weaving in and out of their earthen home. He crouched, fascinated, watching their quiet rhythm. But then a chill ran through him. The stream was swelling, fed by days of mountain rain. "If this keeps up," he whispered, "these ants will drown." Without a second thought, he sprang into action. He shed his cloak, gathered handfuls of clay, and built a sturdy wall around the colony. His fingers worked swiftly, shaping a barrier to hold back the water. Then, with a stick, he carved a shallow trench, guiding the rising stream away from the ants' home. When he stepped back, panting, the colony was safe, the ants continuing their dance as if nothing had changed. Satisfied, he smiled, dusted off his hands, and continued his journey. 8 days passed. The disciple, true to his word, trekked back to the forest. Meanwhile, the old monk paced beneath the trees, his heart heavy. The 8th day had come and gone, and he feared the worst. But then, through the evening mist, a figure appeared on the hill. The master squinted, then gasped. It was his disciple, alive and well. Overcome with joy, he ran to embrace him, tears in his eyes. "How?" he asked, bewildered. His visions had never been wrong. The young monk, puzzled by his master's reaction, recounted his journey. When he described saving the ants, the old monk's face softened with understanding. That simple act of compassion, born from a pure heart, had woven a new thread into the tapestry of his fate. By saving countless tiny lives, the disciple had transformed his own. His 8 days of life now stretched into a long, joyful future. This story teaches us that even the smallest act of kindness can shift the course of our lives. Just like the disciple, we all have moments where we can pause, notice, and act. Whether it's helping a neighbor or sparing a moment for a stranger. These choices ripple outward, shaping not just our days, but our destiny. But why was saving those ants so powerful? Let's explore a deeper truth from Buddhism about the value of every life, no matter how small. When the young monk knelt by that stream, shielding a colony of ants from the rising water, he wasn't just saving insects. He was honoring a profound truth at the heart of Buddhism. Every life, no matter how small, is precious. In Buddhist teachings, this is called karuna, or compassion, a deep respect for all beings, from the tiniest ant to the grandest tree. It's the belief that every creature carries a spark of existence, deserving of care and protection. This might feel familiar to many of us here in America. Think about the volunteers who spend weekends cleaning up beaches to save sea turtles, or the families who build birdhouses to protect local wildlife. Just last summer, a group of kids in a small coastal town in Oregon started a trash-free beach day. They picked up plastic bottles and straws, ensuring baby crabs and fish could thrive. One of the kids, Mia, said she felt like a superhero afterward, not because she saved the world, but because she made her little corner of it safer. That's karuna in action. But it's easy to miss these opportunities. We often get caught up in big problems, climate change, global crises, and think small acts like saving ants or picking up litter don't matter. That's a mistake. In Buddhism, every act of care, no matter the scale, strengthens our connection to the world and nurtures our own heart. The lesson here is simple. Protecting life, even in its smallest forms, is a powerful way to grow compassion within ourselves. It's not about being perfect. It's about noticing the world around you and acting with kindness. So, how does this one small act ripple out to change a life? Let's dive into the mechanics of karma and discover why the monk's compassion rewrote his destiny. Why did saving a colony of ants change the young monk's fate? To understand, let's look at the engine driving this story. Karma, the Buddhist law of cause and effect. Karma teaches that every action, good or bad, plants a seed that shapes our future. Acts of kindness, generosity, and compassion create good karma, blossoming into happiness, protection, or unexpected blessings. On the other hand, selfish or harmful actions sow bad karma, leading to struggles or pain. It's like tossing a pebble into a pond. The ripples spread, touching shores we can't yet see. Take Emily, a teacher in Chicago. One rainy afternoon, she noticed a student, Marcus, looking down, his lunch tray empty. Instead of rushing to her next class, she shared half her sandwich and sat with him, listening to his worries about home. A week later, a colleague offered Emily a ride when her car broke down, saving her day. Emily's small act of care created good karma, inviting kindness back into her life. That's how it works. Goodness flows outward and often returns in ways we don't expect. Think of karma like gardening in your life's backyard. Plant seeds of love and care, and you'll grow a garden of joy. But plant seeds of anger or neglect, and weeds may sprout. A common mistake is thinking bad karma is permanent, like a stain you can't wash out. In truth, good karma, like the monk's act of saving the ants, can soften the impact of past mistakes, opening new paths forward. The lesson here is clear. Every choice you make is a seed. Choose kindness, and you're shaping a brighter future, not just for others, but for yourself. But what makes an act truly powerful? It's not just the action, it's the heart behind it. Let's explore why the monk's pure intention was the key to his transformed destiny. When the young monk saved those ants, it wasn't just his actions that changed his fate, it was the heart behind them. In Buddhism, the power of karma hinges on intention. A pure intention, acting out of genuine compassion, without expecting praise or reward, creates the strongest kind of good karma. It's like the difference between a gift given freely and one given to get something in return. Only the first truly lights up the world. Consider two neighbors in a small American town. One, Jake, mows his elderly neighbor's lawn and posts about it online, basking in the likes and comments. Across the street, Lisa quietly does the same for another neighbor, never mentioning it, simply because she knows they're struggling. Both helped, but Lisa's act, driven by a pure heart, plants a deeper seed of good karma. Why? Because her kindness wasn't about her, it was about lifting someone else. We often slip up here, doing good things for the wrong reasons, to look good, to feel better about ourselves, or to check a box. That's not true kindness, it's a transaction. The monk didn't save the ants for glory. He did it because he couldn't bear to see them suffer. That purity made his act transformative. The lesson is simple. Before you act, pause and ask, why am I doing this? If it's from the heart, you're sowing the best kind of seed. So, how do we bring this pure-hearted kindness into our busy lives? Let's explore practical ways to make compassion a daily habit. The young monk's story feels like a tale from another time, but its lesson is alive and breathing in our world today. Kindness doesn't require a forest or a grand gesture. It fits right into the hustle of our modern lives. Whether you're rushing to a meeting, juggling family duties, or scrolling through your phone, there's always a moment to plant a seed of compassion. The beauty of it? These small acts don't just change others' lives, they light up your own. Take Jamal, a high school student in Atlanta. Every morning, he passes a park littered with cans and wrappers. One day, he decided to spend 10 minutes picking up trash. At first, he felt awkward, but soon other kids joined in. Now their clean park crew meets weekly, and Jamal says he feels prouder of that than any grade he's earned. His small choice didn't just clean a park, it built a community and filled his heart with purpose. We can all do this. Smile at the cashier who looks tired. Write a quick note to thank a coworker. Volunteer an hour at a local food bank. These moments take so little but give so much. The mistake we often make is thinking we're too busy, that kindness requires time we don't have. But the truth is, compassion can be as quick as a kind word or as simple as listening when someone needs to be heard. The lesson here is clear. Kindness is a habit you can weave into any day, no matter how full your schedule. Start small and watch how it grows. So what does this all mean for us? Let's bring it all together and see how these seeds of kindness can transform our lives. From a misty forest long ago to the busy streets of our lives today, the story of the young monk carries a timeless truth. A single act of kindness, no matter how small, can ripple out to transform your life. When that monk stopped to save a colony of ants, he didn't just change his fate. He showed us that compassion is a power we all hold. Every choice to care, to listen, to help, plants a seed of goodness that blooms into joy, connection, and blessings we might never expect. Think of a community in Denver that started a kindness day. Neighbors came together to share meals with the homeless, donate books to kids, and clean up local parks. One woman, Clara, who helped organize it, said it wasn't just about helping others. It made her feel more hopeful, more connected to her town. That's the magic of kindness. When you light up someone else's world, your own path glows brighter. The lesson is simple but profound. Live with kindness and you'll live with grace. You don't need to be a monk or a hero. Start today, right where you are. Hold the door for a stranger. Call a friend who's been quiet lately. Pick up that piece of trash on the sidewalk. These small acts are your seeds, and they'll grow into a life filled with meaning. Picture that young monk, years later, now a wise teacher himself, standing by the same stream where he once saved those ants. The forest is alive around him, and as he watches the water flow gently past the ant colony, still thriving, he smiles. That small act of kindness didn't just save him, it sparked a life of compassion, touching countless others. And that's the payoff of kindness. It doesn't just change a moment, it weaves a legacy of light. You hold that same power. Right now, in your city, your neighborhood, your heart, there's a chance to plant a seed. Maybe it's a kind word to someone who's struggling, a helping hand for a neighbor, or a quiet moment to care for the world around you. Start today. Let your kindness ripple. Because when you choose to live with a generous heart, you're not just shaping your future, you're lighting the way for others too. Go out there, be the spark, and watch the world glow.